This is coming from the secondary teachers saying that my children, that we graduate them from primary 5 to just 1, skipped primary 6 work, the better part of primary 6 work. And so they are struggling. I give it to them. The new hands I have now, thank you, Mr. Riza. Thank you, Miss Blessing Imo. Thank you, Miss Love George. Thank you, Mr. Abraham. They have come to repair the 4 strong faculties we have: English, mathematics, humanities, and science. And they are doing wonderfully well. But now we have to make the work easy on them, introducing primary 6. So if you had primary 4 textbooks, reading primary 5, they said they are not magicians, they can't cover it. So we are still going to continue with the textbooks they have. So we are going to have go through the work they did not finish. So there's nothing like we got primary 3 work. They came back with primary, they are still in primary. Yes. They are not repeating as per repeating, but they are trying to finish off what is in the syllabus. So we are taking it gradually. So if you have those past the books, please return them back. Don't leave them at home. Moreover, they are not done with the topics in the book. So why are we introducing new topics again? Let them be done with a particular class, please. So those books will be in our custody. Don't ask them for the books, don't worry, except for those moving from nursery 1 to primary 1, or nursery 2 to primary 1. Those ones will have fresh new books. But those moving from primary 1 to 2, please finish your skill in primary 1. If you are not done with it, continue with it till we are certain that that child is grounded with what he or she is supposed to do in that class before we introduce a new topic. So for primary 2, if you had primary 3 books, please maintain it. The reason I'm saying we may not even have an over-budgeted school fees for next session. That's if you are having the textbook for that class. Primary 4, primary 3 will be going to primary 4. So if you're using primary 4 textbook, please leave it with them. Do you understand? Have I made myself clear? Is there anything we okay? So that's just it for the textbooks. Then the last thing I'm going to talk about, based on the minutes we read, is the corporal punishment. That's introducing spanking. Let me not, because we don't have cane to flog, and no. I don't even like that. I can count the number of times I spanked my children. But we want to try to see how we can bring in that. And I don't want to make it a debate or let's argue about it. No. Trust us. We didn't set up this school to kill any child. There is a parent that I used to have one time when he comes, my son this, my son that, and I told the man, I said, please go and read my mission and vision statements. There's nothing like Top Art Academy is aimed at flogging, begging, killing any child here. In fact, if there's any reason I set up a school is to love children. I'm not good administratively. I'm ex that I failed. I will tell you that I'm not good at admin. But you see me, if I'm in the class, my teachers will even be begging me to leave. Miss Julie will say, what, Mrs. Sunka? Since Mama K, you have been here now. What do you want me to do? Allow me now. I said, oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead. Let me move to another class. You even want to send me away? She said, what are you doing here? I said, that's me. Once I am booted, to stand up is a problem. I want, as if I should open their head. I said I should open their head and put everything I want them to know at once. You know, I will be so bad. I can be carried away with kids. So one strong reason why the school was set up is to love children. But at the same time, my love too. Hey, the day I spanked a child, he stood. I saw the shock on his face. He stood, he was looking at me like this. Mama Kate. I said, yes, I did it. How do you feel? I said, will you do that again? That's me. I will spank you with love. That's what my Father in heaven taught me. Because so many ways he has also disciplined us, except you have not gone through any hard time in your life. I'll say God doesn't love you. God loves you. You will go through hard times. When I say hard times, there's a way he will bend you. You know God is pleasing you. He's teaching you a lesson. There's no one here without a lesson in life. So those lessons, I take them as correction. Those lessons, I take them as God giving me a signal. So when we do that, please, no teacher here. I'm not swear for you, but I believe that if it's your heart, there is no teacher here that does not show love to a child. That's the first thing I ask them when they come for interview. You finish your certificate, I'll see your qualification, everything. The next thing I'll ask you, I said, do you love? Go and learn how. I learned how to love. You think it's not that, yes, Mama K, I love you. I said, no, that's where you are wrong. You must learn. You must learn how to love. It's tolerance. You must learn it. And if you learn how to love, if you offend a little child, you can even go to a stoop low to tell that child, I'm sorry. That's love. So please, our teachers are trained also to love. If I enter your class, they know me. I tell them, what's my anthem? You've not heard me say children first. No, what do I say? Miss Teresa, you know me now by now. My children first. That's my anthem here. My children first. They are my reward. These little ones, if they know, they will stay in their parents' house. So we are all pillars. We are all, that's why top arc. The name was given to me like passionately. It came like a vision. Okay, they are our seeds. We are the nutrients. Parents, teachers, the home, the school. We are their sunlight now. They don't know. We are their rain. We are their everything. So this seed they have given you, how? The nutrients, if it's one of the nutrients, thanking them when they are wrong. If another nutrient is sitting down, loving them, encouraging them, teaching them how to feed, teaching them how to write, it's everything for that child. If the child knows too much, he will not bother to access. He doesn't need school. He doesn't need parents. Someone trained you to. So show that same love. Train these children. Lift them up. My mom was a teacher. I can't remember how many times I bought her something. But if I go and I see her room, I'm always speaking something. And she'll tell me, do you remember that student? Oh, wow. She sent me this. Do you remember that's the reward, the joy? Hey, do you remember that student? They came to greet me. Oh, hey, please greet them for me. So I don't do. I said, okay, mommy, I'll greet them. I don't do them. For what? I'm like, is this what it is? And my mom, I said my mom is wicked. And my mom doesn't say my mom is wicked. But when I see the outcome, and I said, so my mom was really nice. Never did I say anything. This one was me. When my mom beat me in this world, I don't think they have beaten anybody like that. The way she has embarrassed me in life. But at the end of the day, look at this day. I'm missing her so much. My mom has flogged me from the end of the road. I just knew secondary, I was already like, let me take cheap pay now. Till the end of the other road. So please, it's all about love. I now see the difference with discipline and wickedness. So that was discipline. And I was thinking it. And when I asked these ones that go to visit me, I said, did you really like my mom? She said, hey, your mother taught me. I said, really? That woman that can twist here, she said, no. Your mother cannot see me, my shirt, and fly my shirt. Hey, your mother taught me how to dress. Yeah? And I was taking it as if it's nothing. So please, any action on this, teachers are still trained. As summer school is for training, we still train them how to make those children come out. The little few we have, the few children we have in the world can make a difference that are still well trained. Anywhere they go to, any organization, they will try to change. So that's my prayer. We should not give up that, Gen Z, no, don't reduce their steez. That is what is trendy. This and that, no, please. What we know is good, let's do it. Let's do the right thing, not the easy way out. So please, I just want to reaffirm discipline here. whether corporal punishment, whether any way we want to do it, we are also monitoring the teachers. I'm there for you. These teachers, yes, spank the child. At that stage, let the child know exactly why you have spanked him or her. You see what you did, don't do it again. Okay? It's just a way of still guiding the child. After all, if it was really wrong, I don't think God will write it in the scripture. It's not entirely wrong. So when we leave it and just keep talking, and one reason why that thing happens to me, because it's just talking. Every time I'll come, Jamilu sits upright. He will take his time. I can imagine if I had given him a good slap from the day one, I think his head would have been corrected. But Jamilu sits well. Okay. So I should not flog you. The following day again, I'll come and see Jamilu there. Jamilu sits well. You take his time. He has to go. If I had flogged him, that waste pain would have gone back to his village. So sometimes we need to correct these issues, not because of, but if you have a child that says, Jamilu, sit well, and he sits well, who will flog you? So there are some children that still need that correction. We are not here at all to hate. If I see a hate spanking, I know. Immediately I will know. I will look into your eyes and I will know. And I will warn you. Don't do that. We spank a child with love. God corrects us with love. So don't do that. So please, when your child comes on, maybe they've been beating not children. In their minds, they love to exaggerate. And mind you, children are very manipulative. Hey, they will twist it like this. You want to kill yourself. They will twist it in such a way that, oh, I thank God for my kind of parents. You say, have you finished reporting your teacher? Okay, come, let me report myself to you. Next time, why are you the only child in that class? No. But so you are the only one that your teacher hates. Come here, let me show you that I love you. By the time they finished giving me, when I went back to the class, I said, teacher, you love me. Thank you, I love you too. Then what happened? I said, you love me, ma. Because the one I got from home, I thought yours was, so please, some these children are very manipulative, and I was one of them. Because I felt my parents love me. My native name is Simayan, love child. So I will go home and I had this very innocent look. But when my mom discovered my trick, she finished me with game. She gave it to me. So all my teachers, I loved them. I loved my teachers. In fact, one invited me for her 70th birthday. I was shocked. Out of everyone on her platform, she said, invite Mrs. Nkangi. And they were all jealous. Just go 2 people on each platform. She said, these were my children. You were my students. When I speak, you listen. I said, why wouldn't I love you? When I know the mother I have at home. You didn't know that your own was small. So please, we love them. And the corporal punishment is not to keep flogging, because that's always what is registered in our heads. You want to keep flogging your children. No, we only do that when the case is extreme. We have warned the child the first time, we've warned you the second time. Now, why I want to bring in that corporal? Because I want to reduce suspension. That was what I was doing initially in this school. I would just give you 2 weeks. But the child comes back and I'm like, what does this child know? Now he has missed 2 weeks. I'll just feel sorry. But when I spank you, I think your senses will come back. And corporal punishment could mean we will introduce some punishments. I went to Command Secondary School, and I know when they tell me ride a bokada, I know what it means. So where I think all those things also get shaping the child. Oh, yeah, let us know more ways in which we can discipline our children and get them the right mindset to be focused. All we are looking out for is a child that is focused and run with your time, run with your space. There's no see, once the child misses it, now can't get it again. There was something again I want to hint about memorizing. The parents came for open day and said, why are we training the children how to cram? And I'm like, cramming? We have changed the English to memorizing, which is still cramming. And it's one skill I'm taught in education. Yes, they do 501 and 502 methods of teaching, and they told me that memorizing is a very good skill. And I want to say, please, it's not cramming. It just trains their brain, sharpen them, retentive memory. So when a child can memorize all the scriptures, the Psalms I know now, because when I was saying that, I can say Psalm 23 and you want me to start Psalm 27 to the end. I can say Psalm 91 to the end. I can say Psalm 1. If you want me to start, I didn't learn it in the secondary school, I didn't learn it in the university. But those skills help me. If I can memorize that, getting to university, memorizing to enter the hall. At that time, I didn't just let them know how to memorize and give it back. I started understanding those things in the university. They started applying to me when I could. So now I now knew how to write bullet points and explain to people. The understanding will come later, but let them learn how to memorize, please. It's not cramming. It helps to build their skills, sharpen their skills. I love these Muslims for one thing. Islamia, they will memorize, recite, what do they call that, their prayer? Please remind me. No joke. And you can see even this, our parliamentary sitting and debates we had, if we're on the, that girl that had that my power, you could see how she was teaching it. So it's not, it's good. Let's imbibe that skills. It's very good. It's not cramming. I corrected it. It's just the child learning to memorize and to deliver. Okay. So thank you very much on that. Then we are also going to look at any other business, but we'll stop here for now and open the floor for reactions to what we have raised so far before we go into any other business. Parents, thank you so much. Thank you, Mrs. Zaharadin. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. So please. Reaction. Thank you.
Should I start?
Yes, you can speak. No, let's speak.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I want to speak on the corporal punishments. I'm looking at it in the area of commensurability. Are there specific offenses that attract corporal punishments? And then the categories of children are not the same. We have people in secondary, primary, and nursery. And then an offense committed by a child in the nursery can be overlooked. If it's a child in the nursery can be overlooked, but if it's the same offense committed by a child in the secondary, may not be overlooked. Now, younger children, they are hyperactive and they play a lot. And if a child keeps playing, for instance, does that attract a corporal punishment? Or should it just be warning, go and sit down, don't do this, don't do that? Should it start from a certain class? Or will it be, general punishment for everyone, all the classes? Are there different offenses for corporal punishments? And then the spanking, you said, is it hand spanking or with a cane?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, that's the question.
Okay, so please could you quickly get me the code of compliance? The code of conduct I'm trying to read.
Okay. Can I just answer her a little bit about that?
What you get the code of conduct?
Yeah. Okay.
He's in charge of discipline.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Mark. When it comes to punishment in general, corporal just simply means the body. That means where the punishment is being given is on the body. That's what corporal means. And punishment is for crime. Now, if you see children, it's not just going about beating them because they are playing. Playing is a good thing. All of us play, even adults play. But the thing is, we get the punishment based on context. That means situation. Now, how we apply pain is that before you find something pleasurable, one thing must be painful. If the other one does not give you more pain than one, you will not do it. So if the child is supposed to finish or complete an activity and he's not doing it, that is the context situation. In that instance, it is not time to play, it is time for activity. So sometimes we'll have to introduce corporal punishment or pain on the body, not because we want to punish the child, but we want to give a higher pain so that he will find that activity enjoyable, easier. That's how we apply pain. So anything you do, if I ask you now, okay, let me give us an example like during examination. On a normal time, if you ask children to read, they don't read their books. But when examination comes, you see them tearing their eyes, spending all the night reading. The difference is that during ordinary time, normal classes don't give them pain. But when exam comes, failing gives them more pain. Therefore, now they find reading easier to do because the exam creates more pain for them. It's the same thing with the child. If the child is not completing the activity, it's not because of anything, it's because he finds the activity painful. Reading is not easy. It's not an easy, if not, everybody would have been doing it. That's why not so many people are educated, many dropped out. So we know that these activities do not give pain, do not give pleasure. So we have to find another pain that is higher than that activity so that he will prefer to do the activity over the beating. Do you understand how we apply the pain? So it's not all the time, it's not because they are playing. There is a situation of there is an activity that needs to be done. So if the child, if there's an activity and the child is not doing, so what should we do? Should we just allow the child go? So we have to let the child at their time, and that activity needs to be completed because in life is time for seriousness. So at that time, we need to start teaching the child this is time to work, not time to play. You have your break time to play, but this time is time for an activity. If the child doesn't complete the work, of course, there's no any corporal punishment, there's no pain that will go with it. But if he's not, so we have to tell the child, okay, so you have to choose. Either you get the cane or you do the work. So that's how we balance it. So by the time he sees the cane, he would prefer to do the work over that. So that one, the corporal punishment, most of the time will be determined even by the child. The child will be the one to determine whether he wants to be flogged or he doesn't want to be flogged. So that's just how they apply it. Now, in terms of age, definitely the difference will be there. The way we flog the children in secondary school is not the same way we flog. Definitely for them, just even the thought on their hand is painful. So it's not. So it's not that we'll carry someone from nursery and flog as if we are flogging an adult. Definitely not. It cannot be like that. But then I want us to also understand that some of these actions teachers take, it's not, oftentimes it's not a one-time thing. It's not because the child fails to do this thing one time, then he gets flogged. Oftentimes it's that we have observed the child repeatedly applying a certain technique as a strategy to evade. Perhaps I don't know how they do it for you people, I don't know how you people grow up, but we know what we see these students display. Some of them as they may look small in your eyes, but if you know the craft they display seriously, you people will be surprised. Like how they can manipulate the teacher. Some of them will come, somebody will hit another child. If the person hits him back, because the person hits him back harder, he will go and report. Meanwhile, he's the one that started it. Now, another thing that I also permit, as long as I'm here, I'm still going to permit it. It's not every situation that we are expected to hop on it. If an adult is molesting a younger person, there's a need for another adult who can match the other adult to step in. But if they are within age range, you are not supposed to always step in. They're supposed to deal with it in that age range until when it's becoming out of hand. Because if you're always stepping in like that to block them, they will never learn how to handle situations. Just the way all of us are here, almost the same age range, we are talking out how to raise these children. So if someone older comes, definitely will sound like if a 70-year-old, maybe let's say 80-year comes. If the way he speaks, I'm pretty sure he won't sound like me. So it's the same thing. So we have to sometimes allow them to deal with these issues themselves. It's not because we don't see it. It's not because we don't see it. Now, I also want to apologize on behalf of some of our parents. There is no institution on earth that I know that has not had ghastly accidents, including the education system. I know what has led to all these fears because we have had incidences where some teachers maltreated students and all of that. I want to honestly apologize, but the first thing we need to know is that there is not one school that is built to injure any child or maltreat anybody. If we do that, what's our gain? What will be our gain? So even as we come out, we are driving till tomorrow. People are still crashing on cars and dying. Have we stopped driving? No. So we cannot say because there is a little mistake, then we crash the whole system. Imagine we say, okay, because people are having accidents, then let's not drive again. Because houses are falling on people, let's not live in our houses again. So because of this little incident, we cannot just crush an entire system. All of us here are products of pain. I don't know how it happened that while we were growing up, as some of us really went through difficult moments, but when we grew up, we told ourselves that our children will not go through what we went through. And yet we expect them to be better than us. How? You are molded by that pain. That pain shaped you, made you a better person. Today, you don't see the need to let your child know that this is the birth of your success. That pain is the birth of your success. So you refuse the child that growth, that channel. So you give the child everything at a platter. How do you, was it like that for you? Was that our motivation? So pain in itself is not entirely wrong. Now, another reason why I support, and I will tell you, please, I don't want to feel terrible about this. I'm an educationist by profession, so I'm not just speaking from ideas. I'm giving you professional knowledge. There is one thing with corporal punishment. Now, what they are asking us to do for your children, our children, which I cannot do it, is that they are asking us to give your children mental pain. One thing with mental pain is that you don't get to see it, how it is affecting the child, or the child just get to die.
No, please, just so can you explain that?
Mental pain.
Mental pain. How can you inflict mental pain?
Mental.
It's more disastrous.
It's more disastrous, yes. So that's what they're asking us to do, that we should not beat your children. So we should say, so if we cannot beat them, it means we have to say harsh words to them that will screw their brain, because by the time they keep hearing these harsh things, they're dying inside their brain, but we cannot see that. But if it's a wound here, you can at least it will heal. But if you give them and they're still tender,
Yeah, because
but an adult like me, if you talk to me with your
that was what most teachers were now meant to say.
so you cannot
It's all right.
you have to give them those harsh words.
There's no other thing
There's
for
no
you
other way to
to make
punish
the
them.
child learn.
So you have to say harsh words that will make them.
No, but they should have compared the consequences.
That is the problem that
Just
we are
like
having with our educational system.
Yes.
It would be
Evaluation.
easier for me to carry my kid and give you 2 points. Pack it down.
And I'm using it.
Just say some harsh words.
In fact, your mama not train you well.
So all of this lack of training. So you see your children coming and saying these things to you, and how does it even sound in your own ear? So we don't want that. I cannot do that as an administrator, as an educationist. Our educational system is lacking in some of these. It's not that the system is bad, but they don't go back, or we don't go back to evaluate how much results have we gotten so far. That is one of the major problems. Sometime in June, we saw a 20-year-old attempted to kill the former president of the United States, Donald Trump. A 20-year-old. Sometime again, we also heard about a 14-year-old went to a school, killed 4 people, 2 pupils, 2 teachers, and injured about 9 people. I don't know if you people follow the news. It happened that time. Now tell us, how is their system? That is the system they are operating. So they don't know the pain of, if they know the pain, you will not carry a gun, because the bullet, where does it hit? Is it not corporally? It's on your body. But we don't beat them, because they don't beat them. Donald Trump today is saying no, all this. How can a child call the police on his parents? So we have screwed our minds, and we are saying we cannot continue. These children, besides they are young, they don't understand this language. How many times have we told our children do something, they will do another thing. And if you ask them why, they will tell you, I thought you said this. Ask them what you said, they will repeat exactly what you told them, but they will do their own and say, I thought you said this. Because they actually don't get to really hear like that. You don't get to hear. I cannot punish your child by asking your child to leave the class. I will never do that. It's my policy. I will never ask. Because I know that if I tell them to go outside, that's what they want. They'll go outside and continue playing. They don't know anything. So I cannot ask them to go outside as punishment. I don't do that. Another thing I cannot do is that I cannot send, I despise the idea of expelling the child. I cannot, if you expel the child to go out, parents, I know that you're busy going to work. So if we send the child back, you go to work, what happens to the child at home all by himself? So I know that will also become another problem. In fact, we'll have more freedom to do only God knows what. So these are some of the punishments that I cannot meet on experience. I would rather prefer to handle him freely right there. And I want to encourage all of us parents, please allow us to beat your children, the parents that because of space and time you're not able to do for them. Please allow us. We will not kill your children. We will not
allow.
do that.
You said allow.
Yes.
No, that allow is not. It's not you are meant to beat. No, not allow. It's my own son.
So please. Yeah.
Specific offenses, specific punishments, or are there things that a child would do and it will attract a particular corporal punishment? That's my question. So that the offense will be commensurate with the punishment. It's just like using a hammer to kill a fly, So I want the balance, because if anything happens, for future purposes, if anything happens, they will ask, what is the punishment for this particular thing that a child did? That you have to inflict this particular punishment on the child. So that's my question.
Please, can I say something?
Okay.
Am I permitted to?
Yeah.
Okay. Something happened in my class this week. I have a particular child. I wish his parents are here. I have a child in my class who has not been doing assignments. Now he comes to school, and when I ask, he'll tell me he forgot the book at home. And then he did that for like a week, a whole week. All the assignments I gave for a whole week, he did not submit any. So his classmates went to his locker and searched and brought out the books. And he kept lying to me that, yes. And I kept forgiving from Monday. I forgave Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The punishment I gave him was on the last day. I made him to sit on the air. I did that. On a different occasion, this particular week he did the same thing. An assignment I gave since last week, he didn't do. I gave mathematics, he didn't do. I think it was yesterday. I had to punish him. Like, I was giving assignments for the holiday, this midterm. And I noticed that most of his textbooks are not even in the school. That means he kept all of them at home. When I give, he will keep them at home. And he kept coming to tell me he forgot. Why would you keep telling me that? So yesterday, I spanked you. Now, it is not every situation that we spank for. There are times we tell them to face the wall. There are times we tell them to kneel down. There are times we tell them to write a code letter. There are times we also spank. And the spanking depends on, the punishment depends on what the child is. Absolutely. Thank you.
Excuse me. A follow-up. Okay, ma'am. Ladies first.
You notice a child. Okay. He's not writing assignment.
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the child is coming to school. You don't have the right to keep quiet. You call the parents now.
Thank you.
Because they pay money.
That's what I
want.
Call that.
Even if it's my child, you keep quiet. One time I will slap you.
Mom, do you know that same parent? No, I have been
It's this statement you make. That's what I'm giving you. Anytime you see a child, it's hard to bring money to pay. You want the best for the child. That's why I'm saying, if my child is behaved, my dear bitch, I'm not scared.
The child might not even be aware of the family.
The parents are even aware. Like the child goes home, and then he comes back with his book. Yesterday, I'm sorry to say, yesterday I punished this daddy's daughter. Now, when the wife came to pick the children, I told him that I will not release the daughter to go home with them. Why? Because she didn't do her work. She didn't do her work the previous day correctly. Yesterday, she didn't do her work correctly. I had to cancel everything and I made sure she did everything. She got it right from the beginning to the end. I made sure she stayed here till past 12 yesterday. They all went home. The parents came back to pick her. So I know my job and I do it perfectly.
No. And you are saying another thing. You are saying another thing.
He's doing another thing.
She's
I'm saying it. 5 days.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
too plenty.
Parents notification is wrong.
It's too plenty.
Are you getting me? That's my own. If I'm saying my own. If my child did not do just one thing.
Your complaints when you get tired and just let go.
But have you ever made such complaint on the parents? Because my sons,
Yes, I have done that.
okay, if you have done that, you have no fault.
That's the reason why I don't even talk to the parents anymore. So my business is not
So if you have done that, you don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me just add. Let me add to that. Let me answer. Yes, Mommy Fena. I'm talking about the different types of corporal punishment to apply as regards to whether it's commerciable or not. I want you to understand something. Everything you do, there's what we call discretion and instinct. Discretion and instinct. So the teacher has that license of discretion because we are professionals. So I cannot come to your office and tell you what to do. Sometimes you have to try this if it doesn't work. And that's why we are where we are today. The best decisions that were ever taken were never known as at the time they were taken. So you have to take it and see if it gives result, then you say, okay, I've taken the right decision. If it did not give the right result, then you need to change it. But it's not, sometimes we are not aware of the very punishment to give. But we know the ranges, but we don't know which one will even work for the child. Because even the children, there are some that if you apply cane, it works for them. Some of them, if you apply the cane, some of them, they condition them, so they can even endure, beat them from now to tomorrow. In fact, that's what they want. So in that kind of case, if you apply beating, it does not work. Maybe you just resort to lock
Like my son, my son, I love him. He doesn't like to see pain. So once you lift it up, he has he will go to you like, Mama K. I like it. You don't like this. Mama K, is there anything you want take me to do? I did not do it. I was there, little. Yeah, there's something I wanted you to do. I tried show me, and I will do it very well. Just this alone. I know some. If you like, carry this. Hand up, no shaking. I will say, what do I do to this boy? Because you came up, nothing. I said, I'm going to use this on you. In his mind, okay, now you think that one is maybe I should get something harder too. I'm like, he said they should use something harder on this boy. Just to lift my head, he's not even shaking. I said, I know what I will do to this one. You come, there's some you will just, as a teacher, I'll just figure out what to do and what he loves. Oh, does he like eating? I'll try yours. Now, right now, that are eating. Yes. Finish, go and sit down there. And that's why you just see very hungry. I say, oh, you are missing your food. You will not eat today. Your parents will carry this food home. Hey, you are finished. He will take his time. You come again. Mama, have I done it well? Check. I said, I'm checking. By the time you are done, so you will know. So I keep asking my staff, what do I say? Study your. That is my language. Study your. I also want general
offenses that can be specified with a punishment. For instance, bullying. Okay, you can see it in other schools.
Yes.
Okay.
We have it here,
Okay.
and I think let me just quickly read it. Behavior that attracts a better home. Being sent out of class more than once. And for the nursery, being sent out of class because you didn't do your work. And that's one thing I wanted to also inculcate. We send the children out to stand out. Persistent poor behavior, just like what she has. And when it's persisting, the behavior you keep coming from, so she's supposed to have notified the parents, just like what Mommy said. We're supposed to notify the parents after first warning, second, and third. And this particular child, she has been doing that. I just think she's just tired. She has complained about this child. So, children like this, and I don't want my teachers to get to this stage where they just ignore the child. So please don't, it's frustrating. I've done it, I'll just ignore you. I'll enter the class and pretend I'm not seeing you. And it's not learning. It's not learning. Deep down in my heart, I feel sad. I'm not giving you the attention I'm giving others. But because I don't want, either I've reported once twice and parents didn't react or they reacted negatively, I'll just leave the child there. In my heart, I'm like, oh, I've tried my best. And I don't feel, still deep down in my heart, I don't feel happy or comfortable. I still want to give that child my attention. Okay. So we'll not stop. We'll just keep notifying the parents, keep talking. But the next action I wanted to take here is suspension. When it happens that way, it's like take your child and train him. Maybe when you see your child 2 weeks at home, you will help us to do what you couldn't do. And as rightly said, suspension, sometimes the parents don't have the time. Because this particular child that likes to sludge, that was, he got used to suspension. After actually you send me home. And we now discover that why there's no change in behavior, because the parents are not home. At a point, the parents called the school and said we should not return that child. Yes, it was a boarding school. The parents called and said, please, don't send my child home again. We thought it was a joke. He said, give the phone to the teacher that is always sending mail to the principal, because it's a pretty school. I said, don't suspend, don't send my child home because nobody's at home. Right now, I'm in the UK. My wife is in Saudi. If you send this boy home again, honestly, and anything happens to my house, I will hold the school responsible. It was a threat to us now. So you are like abandoned the child for us to. It was nothing we could do.
And just a little bit more, just a little more, we would also know that all of us, we are not on the same level. There are some of our parents, it's not a mockery, but some of us, our parents never had the opportunity to go to school. So even if we send the children back, they honestly want to help, but they have not been in the means or position to do that. So even if we send them back home, we complain. In that case, they honestly cannot help, not because they don't want to. The will is there, but the means is not. So in that case, teachers will have to take responsibility of helping that child out. So that's just.
I have something to say. Standing on the existing protocol, please. I want to bring this case to the house. I had some parents ask, did you report it to the boy's parents? What was their, or what were their reactions and stuff? I personally have this particular child. Homework would be given. The boy would take the homework home. And when the little boy wants to do the homework, it is the mother that would ask the boy to go to sleep and then return the homework the next day. Yes, on several occasions, I have had that experience. So on a particular day, I had to call the father to show him what other children have been able to do to achieve, which his child could not. Why? Because the parents at home were not involved. And even when the little boy wanted to, help himself by doing the home fund that was administered, the mother, specifically, it was the mother who asked the boy to drop the book and go to sleep. So in a situation like that, please, they have to tell all teachers what to do. On several occasions, not once, not twice. So that I had to call the father in to explain to him. Then I think they picked up a bit, and after a while, there was this relapse again. So what do you do in such a situation?
Okay, so still on discipline. Hello, please, teachers, what happened there? Please sit down.
Because my husband just called me now.
I love these children every day. For the past 2 years, this man has not been in Nigeria. I'm the one that take care of these children. And I don't have any house help. He now did a video of my child. If you don't like the haircut, he will tell me every 2 weeks. I barb my children myself. I used to barb his skin. And I'll make sure there is a little hair up here. If you don't like it, you can call me. Tell me that. It's not that I'm going to take a video of my child and send it to my husband. I try to break my home. That I'm not a good mother. I'm not a good mother. I left my shop. I work. I'm not a good housewife. I take care. I repair car. I do everything. Go to market. Take